Fish juice. Hey everyone, Dave here, and welcome to another solo adventure on Vancouver Island. I've already been hiking on the logging roads for about an hour now, and I've come to my spot. And unfortunately, it's a pretty big drop off to the river/creek that I want to get to. So I have to get down there somehow, but I'm hoping that maybe this tree line over here, there might be a better path. I'm not gonna lie, this feels pretty sketch. So naturally, I'm gonna film it. I was not expecting this. I was very much hoping to pop off the logging road and, you know, just have a casual hike in through the forest to the river. I'm almost there. I just got to navigate this cliff area that's right here. Damn it. This is a lot harder than I expected. Oh, that hit my shin. That hurt. We're getting there. We are getting there. What a beautiful river. Okay, so good news is that I did manage to get down to the river. That is the good news. The bad news is that I basically am in a canyon and I don't have much forest to work with. I've never been to this spot before. This is a completely new destination for me. I had no idea what I was going to encounter. So that is part of the game, is that you just got to make do with what you have and figure it out or die. So more bad news is that the area that I would like to camp in has too many dead standing trees around for me to feel safe to camp here. I do not feel comfortable camping under some of these dead standing. So I'm gonna have to go onto the river somewhere, and it's gonna be more exposed and I'm not gonna have much room to work with, but at least it will be safer. Before leaving this spot, I'm gonna quickly collect some really nice dry twigs that are just up here. This will help me a lot with my fire. Those are deer tracks. So if the deer can do it, I can do it, right? So this is by far the best spot that I've found on the river so far. I have some good materials to work with. There's some ferns up there. There's some Douglas fir boughs. I have some dead branches laying around. There's some bushes that I can make shelter with. So I think that this is going to be a home, and it might not be the quietest place to film. So the audio quality might suffer, but I'm okay sacrificing that. I would rather have a good night out here and survive. So I'm simply going to try to create an overhang over this log and then maybe build like a bit of a back wall back here to meet up with the overhang. And I do have some survival items with me. So I have some painter's plastic, a garbage bag, and a thermal blanket or a mylar blanket. I'll build a bush bed down here and try to kind of encapsulate myself a bit because it is a little windy on the riverbed here. That's a nice piece. So I've secured these posts with rocks in behind, and they're very stuck in there now. They will do perfect to throw the branches on top, basically. Those rocks have secured them very well, and I just need to build a light roof. Basically, I'm just starting to weave some of the branches in together. When you weave them in together, the whole roof structure kind of starts moving as one unit, and that's when you get a very secure roof. So once I have the weave going on, then I will put the painter's plastic over top. So I've started to weave some, again, going this way to stabilize the frame, basically. And now we're pretty much at the point where I can use my painter's plastic, and I will basically put the plastic over top, and then I will put like ferns or just whatever on top of the plastic to keep it down. I'm starting to build my bed area. I built this back wall here. I used that nice flat log, propped it up to kind of block off this area. I'm leveling out where I'm going to sleep. I want my head over here raised a bit because the wind is typically blowing this way. So I want my head up here, and I'm going to try to build a wall at the back here very quickly after I figure out my bed. And basically I'm going to put like a layer of sticks and then just put anything I can on top to make it as thick as possible to give me some loft off of the rocks. In the comments section below, let me know how you like this kind of like bushcraft survival hybrid video, kind of doing like a wilderness adventure with a little bit more gear than a survival situation, but a lot less gear than a typical bushcraft trip. Make sure to hit that subscribe button for more content like this, and also remember to leave a like and drop a comment if you feel so inclined. Not gonna lie, I'm starting to feel pretty exhausted. The hike in was way harder than I thought it was gonna be. Walking all around these boulders around the river, my feet are starting to really hurt because they're like constantly slipping around in my shoes. I need to get this shelter finished before darkness falls. Look at that guy. So I collected all my firewood. Pretty much most of my firewood is just from this little driftwood area right over here that the river has collected over time. So I didn't have to do much work to find this stuff. I kind of just pulled all of this out of there, and I got a few big logs. I'm going to start the fire with twigs and then just make a twig fire on top of the big logs, set them all on fire, and those big logs will hopefully burn all night. I probably will need to have a fire all night. It might get a little chilly tonight. I think it'll be about 5 degrees Celsius or something. So we had a really nice day this morning, but nighttime might get a bit cold. Especially since I'm in this like canyon with the river, I expect it to be a lot colder here than it would be in the city. So I'm just prepping my dinner here and making sure that I have it set up and ready to go before. Look at this handy little plate that I got. Before I light the fire, so that when I do light the fire, like things will be cooking right away because I'm starving. So I'm gonna this is gonna be for like the sausage, and I got a flat rock. It will be ready to go, and then I'll just carve this guy a little bit. so I can roast the sausage. And I'll cut up the sausage after it's done cooking. Throw it in with the macaroni, put some butter in the macaroni, and it will be a nice high-calorie meal to replenish all the stupid calories I burned today. So you could use a ferro rod to start your fire, but honestly, a lighter is better than a ferro rod 99% of the time. If you got a lighter on you, just use it. I think it's a good idea to carry a ferro rod for backup and to learn how to build fires with ferro rods. A lighter is honestly just the best tool, and mosquito like trying to fly in my nose. Let's just start the fire with a lighter because it's easier. Taking out the little fire starter. Make sure it's actually lit properly. Twigs. Bigger twigs. Let me know in the comments section below whether you are a ferro rod forever type of person where you'll use a ferro rod no matter what. You know, it's not bushcraft unless you use a ferro rod. Or are you the person who just uses a lighter like a normal person? Get this sausage cooking. This fire is way too hot for me right now. I'm already sweating. Let's hope this doesn't fall apart. Good enough to scoop with. Not mess this up. Just want to cut it and put it into the pasta. Ah! I knew that was going to happen. Here, let's put these in before it's too late. Add the butter, and we are ready to rock. All right, let's dig in. I can't describe to you how good this tastes after today. Man. After just eating granola bars and trail mix, this is like so good. This is like one of the easiest things to cook out here, and it tastes amazing after a day in the forest. I don't even care that I'm sweating. It was totally worth it to eat this. This plant here is called Devil's Club. Can you guess why? Almost edible salmon berry right there. You could probably eat it. It'd be a bit tart, but I'm surprised to see them out already, which is pretty cool. These plants here are called vanilla leaf. Surprisingly, it's 8 p.m. and it's still pretty late out. But I'm going to have my second dinner. A can of sardines. Fish juice. There's a big one. Got one of those like sleepy time teas. Sorry, celestial. I don't know. The chamomile tea that helps you sleep apparently. Pop that in, sip on that. I'll probably pass out before the sun goes down. I exhausted myself today for sure. Not gonna lie, it's really nice to do a trip without it just pouring rain on me. It's super nice to have like just clear sky. I just swallow a bug. Sorry. Very rarely do I get a trip where I'm like not dealing with rain somehow or wet wood or all that sort of stuff. So pretty stoked about that for sure. Got some kingfishers to keep me company. There's 2 of them going up and down the river here. I think they're pretty cool birds. It's fun to watch them do their thing. Well, that's it for me tonight. Bed's pretty comfortable actually. I'm definitely going to be able to fall asleep on it, so it's not nearly as bad as I thought it could be. I'm so ready to go to sleep. Make sure to stoke the fire really good before I go to bed, and otherwise, see you in the morning. Good morning. This is how I slept last night. It got so cold. Luckily, I was able to keep the fire going all night, but I put on every single layer that I had and tucked in my shirt, and I had to like have this over my face. Got very cold last night. You can see my breath a little bit, maybe not on camera, but so definitely got nice and cold last night. Basically just granola bar trail mix for breakfast. Put my contacts in a bit. Just have some coffee, sit by the fire, hang out by the river for a bit. Even though it was cold, I still managed to sleep half decently. I just had to continuously wake up to stoke the fire, because as soon as the fire would go down a little bit, I'd start getting pretty cold and start shivering. Some instant coffee is good enough for me. I just need the caffeine to keep the headaches away. Nice warm drink. Oh, that's so nice. Very tasty indeed. Coming into this trip, I didn't have like a plan on the type of shelter I wanted to build. I kind of wanted to incorporate some sort of natural structure, and having this log, being able to prop up the support poles and like making it a back wall, I can like rest my back against it, sit up against it. Definitely a fun build. I got to get my contact lenses in somehow because I hate hiking with my glasses. They always like fog up and stuff. And I see better with my contacts, actually. That's why I've been wearing them more recently. I can't sleep with contacts in. So I got to take them out, and I put my glasses on at nighttime just in case something happens, because I would not be able to see otherwise. The minimal gear that I brought for the Bushcraft survival adventure worked out perfectly. I also created like a free PDF you can go check out in the description below that has like just a really basic list for like a solo overnight that I would typically bring. If you want to go check it out, feel free. But the gear that I did bring was a lot more of a minimal situation, and just having the one major cutting tool with the Scrama was, it kind of changes the way that you view the forest, because you can't really tackle some of the bigger logs and stuff. That's why a lot of the shelter is built with like branches and stuff off of trees and things, because the Scrama can like cleanly swipe them off. You got to use the tools that you have to your advantage and think ahead instead of trying to chop through something that's like 4 inches thick. It's just not going to work out. So I probably could have gone and done like a fully natural roof, but I wanted to demonstrate like a survival technique that potentially you could employ out there. If you did bring like a sheet of plastic or a plastic drop sheet of some sort, you can easily just waterproof your roof, no problem. As far as the shelter goes, I didn't end up using the garbage bag, and I didn't end up using the Mylar/thermal blanket. I could have. It was pretty cold at nighttime. I debated whether I should incorporate the Mylar blanket into my shelter, but I decided to just try to like tough it out and see how it would go. I always had that option in my back pocket type of thing. If it got really cold and I couldn't endure it, I would have just pulled out the blanket and made use of it. That's all I got for you. See you on the next video.